Hi, I'm Alex Kraft, and I'm here with Tejay van Garderen, top 5 finisher at this year's Tour de France. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Sure. Wondering, you had said in an interview after the tour that you had learned a lot at the tour. What things did you learn at the tour this year that you are using now and for this particular race?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot, and I can't just point to this year's tour. I think the time that I learned the most was when I had a horrible tour in 2013. I had a bad moment, and then I lost contact with the group, and then I got down, and I kind of just gave up. And this was all early on stage 8 or 9 or something, so I still had 2 weeks to go. And those 2 weeks, they felt more like 10 weeks because it was just every day I was just down, and I told myself at the start of this year, like, no matter what happens, I'm not giving up, because I can't go through that again where I'm just riding and suffering for almost nothing. And I feel like I was being tested. I don't know. It like with all these crashes, I got sick. I mean, even the couple months before the tour, I had this little hip fracture that was kind of stalling my preparation, and so I feel like I was like, man, I told myself I'd never give up again, but it's really pushing me to my limits. But I kept going, and I ended with a result that I'm really proud of, and I'm really proud of my team. So yeah, the biggest thing was just don't give up.
How is your form coming into this race?
It's good. I mean, I've had 2 weeks to acclimate to this altitude. Plus, I think I acclimate quickly since I spend quite a bit of time here just throughout the year. And yeah, I just kind of, at first I was a little feeling tired, sluggish, from the travel, the tour, I took a little downtime, some recovery, so my body kind of shut down. So it wasn't really about hard training. It was more just about tapping into what I already had at the tour. It took a lot of dusting off some cobwebs and just polishing things, and now I'm feeling right back where I was and ready to defend the title.
Who do you see as some your biggest rivals to defending the title this year?
Well, I mean, there's a number of guys. There's a long list of potential winners, but I'd say the biggest threats are the Tour of Utah winner, Tom Danielson. We have Leopold Koning. He was 7th at the Tour. Very strong time trialist and tiny guy, good climber. There's Rafał Majka, just coming off a victory in Tour of Poland. There's Michael Rogers, who's always consistent and strong, very strong time trialer. I mean, then you also have guys like Frank Schleck and Ivan Basso, and even some of these continental guys. This is the highlight of their season, so it's they're obviously coming with big motivation. And but yeah, those guys I mentioned, those are the guys I'm watching most closely.
You mentioned Tom Danielson, who also trains in Colorado. You both are great climbers. So how would you say would be best to attack him?
Well, you can't really. Sometimes if you make a plan that specific before the race, it might not work out. Sometimes you have to feel the race. You have to see, like, how is he sitting on the bike? Is he hunching his shoulders? Is he rocking a little more than normal? Like, if he's tired and I'm feeling good, that's when you hit him. So I don't really have like a spot on the road where I'm picking, like, this is where I'm gonna attack him. I'm just gonna try to feel him out. Maybe Tom's super strong and all I can do is hold his wheel and then hope for the best in the Vail time trial where I should have the upper hand on him. But otherwise, there's a number of stages where anything can happen, and I just need to, pay attention and stay attentive.
This race is one of the biggest spectator sports here in Colorado. It's actually setting records every year. What would you say to your fans here in Colorado?
Yeah, I tell them to thank you for coming out. Cheer loud, we love it. But please keep a bit of distance. You know, sometimes we're out there on the road, we're hitting high speeds. It's nice to not have to worry about getting bumped by a spectator. There are a few issues of that this year in the tour, and I think the public awareness of keeping your distance and, you know, just respecting our what we're doing out there. I know it's great to get excited, great to, you know, dress up in funny costumes or wave banners and, you know, take pictures, but, you know, try not to run with us. Yeah, just be respectful and keep a good distance and have fun out there. And thanks for coming out.
Now, what is the funniest costume you've ever seen?
Probably more of a lack of costume. Some people just wear nothing. You know, the devil that we see at the tour, he's always a fun character. The funniest costume, actually, it was probably Liège Best in Liège last year when the panda was running next to Dan Martin. That was pretty funny.
Nice. How has Jens Voight inspired you as a cyclist and even as a person?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, you know, I came into the professional ranks in 2010, and already it feels like there's a generation behind me, and then there was this generation in front of me leaving. So it's almost like like at this point in my career, I'm stuck between two generations, because like I've already raced with and seen guys like hell, even Lance Armstrong was still racing when my first year as a pro. And, you know, we had guys like George Hincapie who retired recently, and now Jens is retiring. So we have like these, you know, Christian Van Velde, like this wave of like these older generation guys that I was racing with moving out, and now we already have this crop of guys behind me when it feels like I'm still a young guy. But then when I see guys, you know, born in 90 or 91, 92 even, coming up behind me, it's like wow, this is it's weird to be stuck in this in between of, you know, the guys I used to watch when I was a kid and a fan of cycling, and then, you know, kids who I had never heard of coming up and doing really well.
Can you share a personal story with you and Jens, either on or off the bike?
I don't know. I actually, you know, this is just recent. Maybe it's just fresh in my memory. But this is his last race, and I was doing a training ride just a few days ago. Pouring rain. It was cold. It was rainy, and I had 4 hours on the schedule, and I was kind of like, man, I need to get out there. Kind of like dragging my heels, and I run into Jens Voight, and he's just doing full gas circuits up these climbs because he has to do these 1.5-minute efforts, and I was like, wow, hey Jens, you want to ride together? And he's like, no, I have to finish these intervals. And it was just cool to see him out there in the rain, just suffering, getting through the training. For his very last race, for someone who's over 40 years old, it seems like he has just the motivation of a neo-pro. So yeah, that was pretty inspiring to see.
Lastly, what would you what are you going to say to Jens as he leaves, like a personal message to Jens?
Well, I'll probably buy him a beer. We might, you know, just shoot the breeze a little bit, and I'll say, hey, anytime you want to come to Aspen, let me know. We'll ride some mountain bikes, and we'll just have a good time.
Great. Well, thank you for the interview, and good luck at the U.S. Pro Challenges.
All right, thank you.